Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Marvelous Marva, and today I just wanted to talk about some feelings that we may all be feeling. Maybe not all, everyone is different, but I've been noticing that there have been a lot of emotions that have been wanting to be released. Have you noticed? I've had a few instances this week where I've just been, doing my normal job and everything's okay. Everything's going good. But then all of a sudden, I just start crying. Of course, I'm not doing this, it's happening in moments where I'm not actually engaging with, a customer or no one is seeing me, but I'm allowing myself to cry when it's happening, and it's happening in the most perfect moments. Yesterday it happened while I was working, and it definitely caught me by surprise because it was a longer cry than I normally would have, and I was just like, everything's okay. Like, I was looking around, I was like, everything is just fine. And then I remembered, we all have so many stored emotions that our body is like really wanting to just express and release. And I think with all of the things that are happening energetically in our world now, it's almost happening naturally, where you don't have to plan, your emotional outbursts, or you don't have to get into a fight with someone to release, tension. It can just find another way, which I was just sitting there. It found another way to get out of my body. And after I had that cry, like literally, I told you, I was just looking around like everything's okay. Like there was nothing that was wrong. But after I had that cry, I felt really good. It was so interesting. It was a good feeling, and I allowed myself to be present with it. I felt the waves of emotions, and I also felt myself trying to hold back. I don't know if you've heard any of my other podcasts before, but sometimes I like to hold on to my emotions and not completely express them. And I can feel like when a cry wants to come out and my eyes start burning, but I kind of suck it back. I didn't have I didn't have a choice in it yesterday. The tears just came out. Like, it burned at first, and then the next step happened, which was they just came flooding out. And after that was relief. And it made me think. I was just like, there's so many moments that happen in our day, and we can sometimes get so caught up in our thoughts and what we're doing that we forget to just allow ourselves to just be present and release if we need to release. If you're feeling any kind of heaviness, or just things on your mind, or maybe even having trouble sleeping, I'm a person that sleeps so well. I always tell people, I never understood how people, had problems with sleep and would deal with insomnia. And I would always, say I sleep so well. But here lately, I've been able to feel what it feels like to be a person that doesn't sleep so well. I lay down at night with the intention of going to bed like normal, and I don't. My eyes just stay open. And a couple nights it happened, and I watched myself as I was thinking thoughts, and some of the thoughts made me laugh because I was like, I'm here laying in bed. Why am I thinking about something that hasn't even happened yet? Fear creeps in, and you start thinking about the future and what could go wrong with situations that you haven't even finished processing, in real time. And so what I did last night to overcome not being able to sleep, I left my phone first, not in the room with me, because I noticed a couple nights that was really keeping me up, because with my phone next to me, trying to go to sleep, I would when I got bored of just like looking at the ceiling or, you know, paying attention to my thoughts and letting them just like pass by to the next thought, I was getting bored. And so I'd pick up my phone and then I would go, down the rabbit hole of just like watching videos. And I even spent an hour looking at my past photos from years ago in my own phone gallery. That's just how much time we can lose. So, yeah, what I did last night was I counted to 100, nice and slow. And then after I counted to 100, I wasn't sleepy. I didn't yawn or anything. And I laid there and I told myself, you know what? It's okay if you don't want to go to sleep. You can just lay right here. Everything's going to be okay. I don't know when I fell asleep, but I woke up this morning and I was happy. So clearly, when you release at least for me, when I release the pressure of having to perform or do something, my body responds much better to it. And I've heard that before as well. Like when you stop focusing so hard on something or pushing against something so hard, resisting something so hard, like I was resisting staying awake. I wanted to go to sleep because that's the right thing to do when it's dark outside. But my body was like, no, because you keep trying. And then when I let it go and I was like, well, stay up if you want to. My body was like, she doesn't want to play the game with this anymore. Let's go to sleep. So, yeah, that's a great lesson for a lot of things in life. I know I started today's episode off talking about the climate and if you have been feeling like more emotional and releasing emotions. And we kind of went into talking about staying up at night and letting go of control and just allowing yourself to just be. So I didn't want this to be all over the place, but I wanted to record today and put an episode out there. And when I feel motivated, that's when I do it. And I feel motivated. It's not completely planned, and I think that's okay. So with that being said, don't put so much pressure on yourself. You're not going through this alone. I feel like we're all feeling collective energy, and we're all like purging and clearing and shining light on shadows that we have, and letting those shadows be present and allowing them to dissipate if they need to dissipate. And I just think that this is like a collective thing that we're all going through, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward definitely to, where we end up. I'm okay with where we are right now. Things will always get better and better. So with that being said, I've already tried to end this twice. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, for listening, for being a part of this journey with me. I'm happy to be a part of it with you because we are all experiencing some form of it, whether we know it or not. And if you're not aware, I do have a website, marvelousmarvadesigns.com, where I post blogs weekly, and I have this podcast, and I also post it onto or re-upload it to my YouTube as well. So whatever platform you're listening to this on, thank you. And wherever you are, if it is morning, night, afternoon, have a good one. I love you so much. Until next time.